What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host, Eric Wilson. The New York Rangers have clinched a playoff spot. Let's freaking go. They clinched it on an off day, but even still, they went out there, caught a dub anyway, and now it's not just about clinching a playoff spot because we've already done that. It's about fighting for the second seed. The New York Rangers very, very close to being in the second seed. Right now, taking a look at the standings. First place, Carolina, 103 points. Second place, New Jersey, 100 points. And the New York Rangers right behind them at 98 points. And our next game, we all know who we're playing Thursday night at 7 p.m., the New Jersey Devils. Now, that's really exciting because if the Rangers win that, they will be tied in points with New Jersey, and the Rangers have a very legitimate chance at overtaking New Jersey for the second seed. It's going to be a narrow race down to the end of the season. 8 games remaining. Could the Rangers even push for the first seed? Maybe, but the second seed is a very strong possibility right now. So we're going to go ahead, discuss how the New York Rangers can clinch the second seed heading into the postseason and discuss how that's going to happen. But let's go ahead, leave a like if you do enjoy this episode, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and without further ado, Eric, how are you doing today? And give me some of those keys to get in that second seed.
I'm doing good. It's a good day to be a Rangers fan. We're in the playoffs, and it's pretty confident to say that we're going to finish either first, second, or third, most likely second or third, because, Carolina's a little bit ahead of us right now, so it's going to be a little tough to catch up to them. But fighting for that second place spot is definitely in the realm of possibility. And I think it's pretty safe to say that we're not going to fall down to a wild card spot at this point. The Islanders currently hold the first wild card spot, and we're 13 points ahead of them with 8 games left. So unless everything just falls apart and like Igor Shesterkin gets hit by a bus, like we should be okay. But I don't know. I'm pretty confident with it. The Rangers, only 2 points behind the Devils. We play them tomorrow night. So that'll be a huge divisional game right there. If we beat them, we will be tied with them in the standings. And I think they would still have the edge over us for second place because they have more wins, and our points mainly come from those overtime and shootout losses. But it'd be good to just get us in there. The Devils are a good team, but I think we're better.
Yes, you are right about that as well. Tie-breaking procedures from NHL.com. Number 1, the fewer number of games played. Number 2, the greater number of games won, excluding games won in overtime or by shootouts. So the New Jersey Devils, more wins in regulation. They do have the tiebreaker. So the New York Rangers, even if they do match the point total of the New Jersey Devils in this next game, they will not overtake for the second seed because New Jersey does have the tiebreaker. So it's going to take a couple of games for the Rangers to go ahead, slot themselves up there in the second seed, but it's very, very possible. We want to talk about some of the keys to success, and there's one that stands out among the rest, and that is Igor Shesterkin. Igor is the biggest key to success. This season, 53 games played, 2.54 GAA, 0.914 save percentage. Last year's Vezina Trophy winner. We all know who he is. We all know why. He's arguably the MVP of the Rangers. Let's go ahead, Eric. Why is he so important to the New York Rangers getting into the second seed and making it deep into the postseason?
Yeah, throughout the season, the Rangers have been hot and cold. We've seen what they're like at their peak, and we've also seen what they do at their lowest. And really, at the end of the day, the one person that's remained pretty consistent throughout this entire season has been Igor Shesterkin. And during those times where like the offense is lacking or the defense is lacking, Igor is just like that brick wall that keeps us in every single game. Even last season and into this season, there are definitely a lot of wins that we have picked up that without Igor, we definitely shouldn't have won. Games where we're putting in like one goal and then Igor just magically comes out with a shutout in order to get us that win. So at this point of the season and into the playoffs, we're playing against a lot of teams with a lot of offensive star power, like New Jersey. I know we play Tampa as well at some point. We're going to face Alex Ovechkin one more time this season when we play against Washington, and it's really going to come down to Igor. We know that the defense is a little rocky, and they're not going to play perfect every single game, especially with Lindgren remaining out at this point. And it's really just going to come down to how well Igor plays and if we're going to win or not.
Yeah, and the second key that I want to harp in on, of course, you made some good points there with Igor Shesterkin, how important he is to the success of the Rangers. And I think that was evidenced by last postseason. The Rangers don't make it as far as they did without the great play of Igor Shesterkin. But the same can be said about this other key that I want to touch on here is the kid line. The Rangers didn't make it that deep into the postseason without the kid line. Now, we did kind of just dive deeper into the kid line in our last episode. Go back onto the channel, check it out if you haven't seen it already. But looking at the kid line, they're starting to pick up some steam. They are playing a lot better in most recent games, Eric. What do you think of that turnaround, and how crucial is that for the Rangers as they do try to push into that second seed?
I mean, yeah, the kid line becoming hot right now is just pretty much everything that we need it to be. They went through a little bit of a cold streak recently, weren't putting up that many points, but we were confident they would turn things around by the time the postseason came, and they have, and that's what we need because the first two lines, we have all of our star players up there like Patrick Kane, Vladimir Tarasenko, Panarin, Zibanejad, and then like they're going to pretty much put up points almost every single game. And then you're also going to have a solid depth right there on the third and fourth line that can also contribute and continue to put in points. And the kid line has been phenomenal. I know we've barely touched upon the dominant win over Columbus that we had last night, but the kid line performed really well in that too. Filipino scored the first goal. I know Lafreniere had a couple of assists I'm looking at right here. And I don't know if Kakko got any points, but either way, you're not going to have all three players on a single line contribute every single game in and game out. But we know that the kid line can contribute, and they are going to be a huge piece of getting us deep into the playoffs when you have like pretty much 4 full lines rolling at the same time where everyone's playing well. That's how we're going to find the ways to beat teams like Boston who are having like record-breaking seasons. So I'm very confident with it for that.
Yeah, so another thing that I want to hit on here, okay, first of all, to round out your point, let's touch on the stats in the last 5 games for the kid line. They all have 4 points apiece. Alexi Lafreniere, 1 goal, 3 assists. Filipino, 3 goals, 1 assist. He's really turned it on over the last 5. And Kaapo Kakko with 2 goals and 2 assists, only on 8 shots as well. So really impressive stuff from Kaapo Kakko, who has really been a great player for the Rangers this season. But the next thing that I want to talk about is the playoff picture. If the season ended today, the New York Rangers in the 3rd seed would be playing New Jersey in the 2nd seed. Eric, do you think that it is very important for the Rangers to make it to that 2nd seed? Because I know that we've had a couple of viewers in the comment section weeks ago say, I'd rather finish with the 3rd seed. Do you kind of subscribe to that belief? Do you think the 3rd seed, the bracket, the seeding, and the path to the Stanley Cup Finals is better? Or would you rather get the higher seed, get the home ice advantage and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing between the 2nd and 3rd seed is just they're going to play each other no matter what. It's like a 90% chance that we're going to be playing New Jersey in the first round. And obviously in hockey, home ice advantage is extremely important. I think out of like all of the sports in North America, hockey definitely has the most impact when you have home ice or not in the playoffs, just because of the whole playoff atmosphere and stuff. But it's weird because obviously you want to finish as high as possible. I will say, yes, keep fighting for that 2nd seed. We want home ice advantage. But then you look at the stats for the Rangers so far. We've played better on the road than we have at home. But even though that is a stat that exists, I choose to ignore it for the playoffs. The playoffs are an entirely different environment. It's a whole different atmosphere. The fans at the Garden, I'd much rather hear them going crazy than the fans in New Jersey. So, yes, push for that 2nd seed. I think it is very important. Just home ice advantage. Some people might be like, it doesn't matter. But a 7-game series at home, I'll take that,
Yeah, 1,000%. I agree with you on this one. I want to play in the Garden. I want to see the New York Rangers, all those fans pack out the Garden. I mean, there's something different about playoffs in Madison Square Garden, whether you're talking New York Knicks in basketball, New York Rangers in hockey. The Garden is the place to be. If the New York Rangers have a chance to get some home ice advantage, let's go ahead and get it, because I want a Game 7 in the Garden against New Jersey rather than in New Jersey. So I agree with you. I think it's really important. And as we approach these final 8 games of the regular season, the New York Rangers right on the heels of the New Jersey Devils playing them in the next game, it's going to be really interesting to see how the season shapes out. But it's going to be an exciting finish one way or another. And hopefully we do see the New York Rangers finish the year with the 2nd overall seed. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on everything as this final season comes to a close, or the regular season comes to a close. We play out these final 8 games, and going into the postseason, we got you with a ton of updates, game recaps. We're going to be doing some live streams as well, so stay tuned for that. And please make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. We will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Rangers.